the know, just how much to show, to know what to do, just jump in the queue, it's down to you. So what you gonna do? All in the queue, it's down to you. All in the queue, just check out the view. All in the queue. To show, to know what to do, just jump in the queue, it's all to you. So what you gonna do? All in the queue, it's all to you. All in the queue, it's check out the view. All in the queue.
Oh, y'all, excuse me, because you know how much I hate to interrupt your scroll. So let me hurry up and get through this, because you can go back to do what you gotta do, and I can go back to doing what I gotta do. And I made an illustration just to make it easier for everybody. All right, this is me, and this is you. Okay, and this could be a family, friend, co-worker, alone in the world with a little cat dog. I don't care who it is, to whom it may concern. However, when we get together, it is now us. You know what always gets me is when we first start out, it's always cool, calm, and collected. I like it that way. But somewhere along the lines, you realize, this is you once again, realizing that you like to play games. Okay? You have become so fascinated with playing games that now all of a sudden you think that you could play with me. Here's you thinking that you can play with me. That's crazy. It's honestly crazy, but obviously you like to live on the edge. Okay? Now, you realize that you found a new love for these games, that you want to incorporate them in your everyday lifestyle. You are dedicated to the process. You are even willing to bet it all. Now, here's this person who knows what I know, and they know that you are in a great deal of trouble, okay? What a dummy is what you call it, because to bet all of that and to only be left with my ass to kiss is diabolical. It's honestly insane if you ask me. All right now. All right, because the thing is this. Let me break it down for anybody who may be a little confused in translation. Here you are with the right idea, but the wrong bitch. Okay? It's very simple. It's extremely simple. Okay? Right idea, once again, wrong bitch. Yeah. So now that I have gotten wind of what you think is about to take place, I am pointing you in the direction of where maybe someone would like to play games, okay? Which is all the way over there, okay? Are we there yet? No. Are we there yet? No. Okay, I want you to go further, and further, and further away. You're so excited to continue on with these games that you're like, how much further do I have to go? You are so busy making your way downtown, walking fast, okay? You want to get there. You're excited. And even through all of this, even through it all, I'm still being a good Samaritan, a team player, if you will. I grab my magnifying glass because I am determined to help you find you something safe to do. All right, y'all. Well, look, share with those who need to know. Have a good one. Oh.
Hey, good evening to everyone. How are you this evening? I think Super Producer, I think I'm liking these late night lives where I can just be laid back and, just chill, just talk with my people. Let me see who we got up in here. What we doing? Let's see. Hey, good evening, Shanita. Good evening, Dave Bryson from New Zealand. Kenneth Dawkins. Justin Thompson, Jerry Lipscomb. Wrong is wrong. Let me see who we got. We got 215 in the building. Now let me see. Javante. Hello. Good evening, Jim C. Jim C, I'm doing something really special with your pictures. Just hold on. Sandy Howell, how have you been? Charlie Montgomery, hey, good evening. Javar, hey, Javar, how are you? Carrington, what you doing up this late? Okay, what are you doing up this late? Sonny Jones, how you doing? First Lady Brown, I'll tell you. Hey, y'all, making this my voicemail. I know that's right. Linda Kuntz. Hey, Terry Williams. Miss Prima Donna, how you doing? Wanda Smith. I'm glad to see all of you in the chat and in the place today. I am telling you, I am so grateful. Hey, Mr. Roberts. Paul, I'm sorry I skipped you. Hey, Sharon Yasael. How you doing? Did I miss anybody else? Let me know if I skipped you. I got my glasses on, but look like I need to get a new prescription, right? Grateful one. Hey, Foxy Roxy, what's up with you? How you doing? Did I skip anybody? Y'all let me know if I skipped anyone. I don't want to skip anybody. Kathy Fields, how you doing? Hope Mario Tatum. How you doing, sir? Sir, I have been getting emails about your little picture today. Okay? We'll discuss it later. All right. How y'all doing? How's your Saturday been? And normally I try to not broadcast on the weekends, just to give myself a break and to give you all a break. I know you need a break from the rigmarole. R. Smith, how you doing? From Kentucky. And so I usually try not to broadcast on the weekends, but I feel like this week has been so busy with like just loads of things going on. We've had lots of action. Okay. Light Within, how you doing? Okay, you had a good day. Great. I am so glad that you had a great day. Well, Javar, be thankful to be here, that you're here. Okay. I'm glad that you guys are tapping in. I am so grateful for you guys tapping in. I have been pondering some things and doing some things. We have got a live part 2, as you can see from the title, of Who's Keeping the Hen in the Yard. And I think I'm liking these late night lives. I don't know why. Definitely gonna keep my 7 o'clock lives for my interviews and other things that I might have. But I'm thinking I'm liking these. I don't know. Carrington, you took a nap? I know that's right. I have taken several naps today, to be honest with you. Did you see that $1 million live with the 10-cent speech? That girl needs to stop talking. First Lady Brown, we will be talking about that. Right now, that video is in production with the fact checkers. The fact checkers have contacted me, and there's a lot of facts to check. So stay tuned for my review of this. What did she say it was? It was her story. Okay, we're gonna check a couple of facts in this story. Okay, I'm waiting on a few things. Okay, glad you glad. Okay, well, that's so sweet. I'm listen. I'm a little bit touched. The light within. Karen Johnson, hey, how you doing? R. Smith, you've been hibernating? Yeah, I have been like taking naps today in between things I've had to do. In between things I've had to do today, I had to run out. It's cold, snow on the ground out here, and I'm good on the snow. So whoever else wants it, you know, Mother Nature or God or whoever's in control of that, you can send that to the people who would like it. I'm pretty good on it here. Yeah, listen, First Lady, we're going to talk about that. Latasha B. James, how are you? I'm so glad you're in the building. It's going to be funny tonight now that you're here, I'm sure. So we are going to discuss Lil Stanks. I don't remember what she even called it. Oh, okay, Terry Williams, thank you. I mean, yeah, we pretty chill over here. Pretty chill over here. Very respectful. Uh, we are able to have good conversations over here, whether we agree or disagree in this chat. Um, what up, Dr. Nikita Cloud? What are you doing up, my dear? You need to be resting. You make sure you get all of your rest that you need. Tracy Farrington, hey, how you doing? Miami, Florida. Listen, Miami, y'all want some of this snow? Cause I sure will send you some expeditiously, immediately, if it, if I need to. Definitely will send it to you. Um, Karan, hello, Karan. Welcome back. Come to Miami, Florida, child. It's on the list. Did you see proposed house? We're going to talk about it, Kathy, at the end of this investigation today. There's several things that we need to talk about um, with this investigation today that we're trying to finish up. Okay. Okay, Dr. Nikita. Yes, I'm in bed rest today. Good, good. Thank you. I'm so glad. All y'all snow melted good because y'all can't drive in it down there anyway. So need to make sure all the snow gets melted over there. We're going to talk about a lot of things this evening. We're going to look at some things. We need to make some comparisons. And so just so that we know what to look out for when we're choosing our elected officials, right? Because the goal, Mario said, don't do us. Oh, I am. The goal is to not be in these places again, right? So that's the goal. The goal is to be a more educated voter and to be a more active resident and participant in our government, right? And to pass along whatever knowledge that we have to each other. So that's kind of like why I'm here. Tracy, if you call Little Stank Booty's name 3 times, she might show up. So be careful. So with that being said, let's get into this because I don't want to be here. I don't want to take up too much of you all's time. And if you guys want to call in today or this evening, then I want to allow some room for that. Dr. Nikita said, yes, we need more active and educated voters. That is correct. There is loads of volunteer situations that are happening in your local government. So don't just think about Dalton, Illinois. Get active in your own local government because that's really what's going to affect you, your local government, your mayors, your councilmen, your aldermen, your trustees, or however they're denoted in your town. That is going to affect you. So I would hope that Dalton would be the playbook from the trustee standpoint for everyone to begin to get active, at least in their government, and start to participate. And so we're going to get into part 2. Now, on part 1, somebody in the chat tell me who we talked about for part 1. And that's right. Light within, we got to be the change that we want to see. Okay? The change must first begin in me. Okay? I'm going to my first board meeting this week in my town, of course. Let's go, First Lady. Go on over there and educate them people. Go over there and educate them people. Somebody in the comments tell me who the first part 1 was about. We talked about the overall person keeping the hen in this yard. Yes, Sharon Yasael. Yes, ma'am. Yes. Yes. Okay. So, and we found out that he has a war chest of $39 million. And finding good, you're never tardy. Let me do something right quick. New member, Tracy K. Tracy K, first of all, what's up to the replay viewers? To all of you that are replaying this, thank you so much. I appreciate you. This platform could not go forward without you, as well as my live viewers. But Tracy K, thank you for becoming a new member. I hope that you have enjoyed the members only videos so far. Hey, John Q, how you doing? John Q, I hope you're doing well. Hey, Kim Johnson, how are you? All right, so we talked about wealth. We talked about his war chest. He have a war chest of $39 million plus. And then we began to talk about someone else. I said, okay, there's someone else. Then you all went into, or we all kind of got there together about Christopher Clark in Harvey, Illinois. I had Alderwoman of the Second Ward from Harvey, Colby Chapman, in my private community. It was an awesome interview. If you have not, you have time to join as a member and go over there and watch the interview. Membership is only $4.99, but the interview was fantastic. We found out a whole bunch of inside stuff. Okay. First Lady Brown. Yes, let's go. Okay. Enrique Nunez, what's up? Yes. So, but I didn't really focus my investigation on his wife. Okay. My investigation is really focused on Christopher Clark because we need to begin to make analogies and follow these patterns. We need to be watching behaviors and patterns for our own governments. So that when we see red flags, then here we go. There was a lot to this investigation. I also did a FOIA for something that I was looking for. And I'm going to show you the results of the FOIA. Interesting. Yeah. Going to show you the results of that. So we're doing Christopher Clark. Dictator or detonator? Okay. This is what my feelings on Christopher Clark. Dictator or detonator? Now, if you were in my private community, we talked with Colby Chapman, and she actually said this word, dictator, and didn't even know that I had it on my presentation. So, yeah. And I want you to take note of something. Now, wrong is wrong. I could totally see dictator, where he is, right? In Harvey. But could he be a detonator? Because now he's allegedly over here on the ballot for Thornton Township, right? But I already told you guys, he don't want the township. He was sent by the person that was in part 1 to distract. And I told you allegedly what he might do. I told you that he may try to get elected and then step down, and the trustees, that if his whole slate gets elected, then they were going to nominate Lil Stank-a-Booty again and put her back in the seat. I guarantee you that's the plan. Okay? Allegedly. All right? Okay? Because why would you want to leave the safety of your city where you're able to do whatever you want with no scrutiny. Whoever gets in this Thornton Township seat, that seat is going to be hot. The block is going to be hot. Okay? The residents will be scrutinizing everything that someone does in their seat. And they will be asking loads of questions because of what they now know and what they now understand and what they have learned from this particular situation. Okay? Let's see. And that's what I see at Charlie, maybe both. Let's take a look at this. Now look at this. This is Christopher Clark. This is what he looked like when he was an alderman. He was a first-time alderman. It's alderman in Harvey, right? He was a good alderman. Matter of fact, I would even go so far as to say he was a great alderman. People loved him, and they were like, he really looked out for the city. Okay? And he grew up in Harvey. He's from Harvey. He went to law school, and when he finished his law degree, he made it his business to come back to Harvey. Okay? He made it his business to come back to Harvey. But I want you to look at, in comparison, I'm going to show you. Before I show you the comparison, so I showed you what he looked like as an alderman. We're going to get into this right here. I want you guys to see this. Because we're talking about behaviors, right? We know that Lil Stankaboody, when she got into her trustee seat, she was a little rough around the edges. However, she did things like she had like these workout things on the weekends for the residents. We know that she started out, the way she got into public service was a neighbor of hers needed a tree cut down, and she ended up going to the meeting for her neighbor to find out if she could get this tree taken down for her. And for the most part, as a trustee, Tiffany was rough around the edges. She was city girl, but she would ask questions. Mayor Riley was the mayor, and he was not liked, and she would ask a lot of questions on the residents' behalf. So that's why I'm showing you this, because this is how Christopher Clark started out. He started out for the people. He started out as an alderman. Even in this article here, it tells you, he says that he tells everybody his name is Christopher Clark and I'm from the best place on earth. And he says Harvey, Illinois. He lets everybody know that he's from there. He says one of the wonderful things about practicing law in Harvey is that my ability is constantly fluid. I never know what the day is going to bring. As an alderman, he does everything from helping to introduce policies and laws to addressing regular kitchen table issues. And this article is true. From what I have gathered in my investigation, this article was done in 2018, and all of these things were true of him as an alderman. He was a great alderman, and people loved him as an alderman. Okay? And he was an attorney, and he had a law office. He has a law office in Harvey. I don't know if he still does have a law office in Harvey, but he did. And This right here, these are the things that I don't understand, that these people go from being good politicians and good public servants, and then this is what I've been asking y'all. What happens? What happens? Okay? I need to know what happens. Okay? This y'all saw, I'm gonna take y'all back. This is what he looked like as an alderman. Let me show y'all what he looked like now. And then we're gonna go back. Look, watch this. Watch this transformation. Why does he look so dark? Why? What happened? What happened? Do y'all see that transformation? We gotta read some stuff. That transformation, insane. Okay? This right here, insane. That transformation is insane. Okay? Okay? That transformation was insane. We got to read some things, because I'm telling you guys. Okay, so he was an alderman. He decided that he wanted to do more and he should be the mayor. At this point in time, he was under, as we all know, a very corrupt mayor by the name of Eric Kellogg. Okay? Eric Kellogg. We're going to put a pin in him, but he was under a very corrupt mayor, Eric Kellogg. Okay? Him, Mayor Clark, Christopher Clark, and Anthony McCaskill. Now, if you all have been watching and paying attention this week, McCaskill's wife was appointed Cook County Commissioner. For me, I don't believe that's a great thing for Cook County. And if you go back and look at my video, I think I attached it to my last live. I'll attach it to this live as well. You can see why in that video. But anywho, Christopher Clark and Anthony McCaskill ran. Eric Kellogg was a corrupt mayor. They had to figure out a way to get him out of the seat, so they passed the ordinance that put a seat limitation, put a limitation on the seat, which got Eric Kellogg out of the seat. And now McCaskill and Clark are running against each other. Right there. I don't know what happens right there, because I'm going to show you. Now, during this race, there was alleged corruption going on during this race. So it says right here, that one of them, which I believe was McCaskill, was accused of vote buying. McCaskill was the possible beneficiary of alleged vote buying in the first round of voting, an accusation that was investigated by Cook County officials. As news of that scandal broke, McCaskill renewed a weeks-old claim that Clark changed his name to hide a felony conviction in North Carolina. We already starting off on a bad note. Okay, we already starting off on a bad note with them two. Did you hear the names I said? Hey, Etai McCaskill. We just saw his wife get appointed as Cook County Commissioner. I don't know how. I'm feeling like we should investigate that a little bit because of the things that we found out in this previous video about Keisha McCaskill. Okay? So we got vote buying going on by McCaskill allegedly, and some sort of alleged felony conviction for Christopher Clark. Okay? That's what we got so far. You're already starting off on a bad note. Now look at this. Is Clark worse than Lil Stank? Clark wins the seat. He gets in the seat. Now he goes from great alderman to mayor. And now we're talking about the worst. Is he worse than Tiffany Henry? How do we get there? Like I'm confused about how we got there. How is he now the worst mayor? We're gonna watch this little video. Let y'all decide if it plays. There you go.
Like we've seen in Dalton, it involves the community protesting against their mayor.
Our Nate Rogers picks up the story from here in Harvey.
There are many issues here in Harvey that residents have brought to our attention. Residents marched from a nearby church right here to the municipal center before tonight's meeting. Several police officers were on hand, some residents calling that an intimidation tactic.
We're just seeking the transparency, participatory governance. We have several questions about the bills list. And if we know what's going on in adjacent communities, we certainly don't want to model those types of things.
Tension in suburban Harvey continues to grow. Residents taking their fight to the street in a peaceful protest.
Where are the licenses?
Finally, outside Harvey's municipal center, residents holding signs. One of them saying, quote, Mayor Clark is worse than Tiffany Henry. Another one, quote, stop harassing vendors. Business owners saying their licenses are being held up. Residents complaining of a 3% water hike. Pastors outraged after Harvey churches are now required to obtain a business license or their doors threaten to be closed. At least 2 city council members and a packed room of concerned residents are calling for transparency on how village dollars are being spent. The mayor's critics are also asking that his administration be investigated along with his business dealings.
It's unacceptable. You have been elected to serve. You should serve with integrity, not pushing the agenda of the mayor, not pushing the agenda of what he has asked you to do in his office, but I'm expecting people to do what they have been elected to do. And when you get aside from that, then you need to be removed.
Why are you intimidating somebody with a business? How can this happen? We got more policemen here than I've ever seen in a year. Who's paying for all of this? Who's paying for all of this stuff that you got going?
When it comes to the money, we just ask for transparency. You're an attorney, you know better.
Now, city council members tell us more than 70 businesses and over 100 churches are impacted by Mayor Chris Clark's latest mandate. We asked to speak to Mayor Clark. I even gave my business card to his chief of staff. We were told no, that he is not available. As always, here in Harvey, Nate Rogers, Fox 32 Chicago.
Now, y'all know where I'm going. But what did we just see? Let's talk about the parallels. Licenses held up. Let's think about doing the same thing. Okay, let's think about doing the same thing. Licenses held up. Even said they got a water tax hike that didn't anybody know about. Mr. Dan Lee been telling us that these permits have been hiked up. Also, people were the dog fine was hiked up, and nobody didn't know that. Somebody talking to each other about something. Mr. Paul Roberts said that she closed one church. Well, this man is closing several churches, and churches are not businesses. I don't know if he's worse, but he's definitely mirroring the same disrespectful behavior. He's definitely doing a lot of the same things. Who's telling them to do these things? Why are these things happening? You're okay as a trustee or an alderman, but when you transition to this mayor seat, what is happening? We need to find out what's happening at that point. At that point, you're a trustee and you're okay. You know, you might be a little shaky every now and then, but you get to this mayor seat, and boom goes the dynamite. Next thing you know, you doodling on the paper while the residents is talking. You holding up licenses from businesses. I mean, listen, we need to get this figured out. We need to get this figured out. Okay? Sad Black people use Black people to support their agenda. Once they are in a position of authority, they abuse, enrich themselves, and punch down on the Black people. On all the people. I agree with that statement, Sharon, but on all the people now, because it's not just Black people that live in Harvey. It's not just Black people that live in Dalton. It's a mixed bag. I mean, their counterparts are the minorities, but in its major, majority African American, but there are. Okay, I want y'all to watch the steps and the similarities. What is happening? Why is it happening? How do we stop it? What do we do? How can you tell? How can you tell? How can you tell? Listen, Latasha, this is what we need to be. This is what our investigation is going to help us find out. There has to be a common denominator that is telling them how to hide the money, or they may just all be friends and sharing tips and tricks on how to get the money. We need to get it figured out, because we need to get them and all their little friends out of there. But we only can do that is if we can follow the pattern, if we can check the pattern. Okay? We need to know. Okay? Okay? So let's see. Let's see here. That right there. I mean, they are very alike. They are very alike. I don't know that one is worse than the other, but they're very alike on that note for me. Here's another thing that seems to be a common theme. Is he fighting corruption? He came in on a platform of fighting corruption, transparency for the residents. But the first thing he does when he gets into office is fire a police chief that everybody likes. Who else did that? Who else did that? Who else did that? Who else did that? Let's look at this. Let's look at this.
There is a culture of corruption here that has to be stopped.
Breaking news in the south suburbs. The mayor of Harvey announcing a major shakeup. The city's police chief is out. The mayor's announcement comes just 2 days after a CBS 2 political investigation into corruption in the Harvey Police Department. The former head of internal affairs, Olivia Cobbins, told CBS 2 exclusively she was hired to crack down on corruption, but quit her job in disgust. The mayor fired back at Cobbins tonight.
I couldn't stand in the position that I was in as a woman and as a police officer. and see the level of corruption and misconduct in Harvey.
To Officer Cobbins specifically, my doors have always been open. You never came to me to ask for help.
Harvey's mayor says he is now launching a national search for new police leadership.
This is what he did when he came in. I'm confusion. It goes on. Hey, baby dicks, how are you? So the officer that you saw in the news piece, she was hired as like the internal affairs. And the reason she stepped down was because there were things happening at the high school to the police officers that were assigned out there. She began to investigate, and when she began to investigate, she met opposition. Now, you said your doors was always open. Why should she be running into opposition, trying to investigate something that the police officers are saying is happening to them specifically? You come in getting rid of a mayor, a police chief that everyone likes. If this don't sound, I'm gonna show y'all. Let me show y'all. So hold on. We're gonna get there. All right, this is what I want to show next. This, and his name is Winters, is the police officer. Now watch this.
Also breaking tonight, Harvey's police chief, Eddie Winters, is out.
Germont Terry was in the room when Harvey's mayor made that announcement. He's live outside City Hall tonight. Germont.
Brad, when a police chief liked by many is ousted, it's guaranteed to bring out a crowd here at City Hall. Now, the former police chief says he's out of a job tonight because he refused to play politics. Meanwhile, the parents of a child murdered here in Harvey questioning if their little girl's murder case is getting lost in all that's going on here.
The Harvey City Council chambers were packed, a community wondering why the sudden departure of the city's police chief, Eddie Winters.
You told us that this man was great. You read a resume this long.
While outside, this mother and father questioning why Harvey police have not solved their daughter's murder.
I want justice for my daughter.
12-year-old Contavia Blackful was shot while inside her house last fall in Harvey. A bullet came through the window as she sat at a computer planning her birthday party.
It was one of the biggest cases that came to Harvey. Why it's not solved?
They contend while this shakeup is underway at the police department, their family is left without answers and crime is mounting.
His body's steady dropping and no one's helping. Nope, there's no police cars out here. Where is the help at?
Mayor Chris Clark's sudden decision to remove the chief leaves the Blackful family and others in Harvey wondering what brought about the firing after less than 1 year on the job.
I felt I was losing slowly control of the department.
Winters claims that control ultimately vanished when he did not promote 3 officers.
These were handpicked people from the mayor, you're alleging?
Oh, yes, they were handpicked from the mayor, correct.
The former chief says that's the basis of his sudden departure.
Once it became clear as to what this was all about, I had to make a decision, and I just have to leave it at that. A decision had to be made.
The mayor told the community Monday night there's no scandal.
While Chief Winters possesses impeccable credentials, he's simply not the right fit.
Now, the mayor has not responded to Winters' claims because this city council meeting is still going on tonight. We should point out that the mayor, the police chief, serves under the discretion of the mayor. So therefore, the mayor is saying he has the ultimate decision to fire or let anyone go. The new interim chief comes from nearby Dalton. Reporting live in Harvey tonight, Germont Terry, CBS 2 News.
Germont, thank you.
Did y'all hear that? Okay, so that happened. Justice for Alexis Wilson. Justice for Alexis Wilson, justice for Contavia. These seem to be the catalyst for these mayors right here. Look at this. Both of them getting rid of police chiefs that won't do as they're told. Did you hear Eddie Winters said that because he refused to promote 3 officers that the mayor told him to promote, he was fired. Not the right fit. That part, R. Smith, equal don't listen. Are poor people still able to choose their elected officials, or do rich people do that for them? Who knows at this point, Paul? I know one thing. We need to take our power back. I know that. Yes, child. Okay. Y'all heard that, didn't you? It was said earlier that allegedly these same male politicians in the area have a history with Stanka Booty and her female personnel, and that's why these men are not speaking up against her because they got a little dingy. They got a little dirt on them. Allegedly. Okay? The patterns are fire. I promise you, you can apply them to wherever you live. And if you see these patterns, something is happening. Something is wrong. Okay? Officer Collins had issues with her police detail, and I'm sure other demands. Officer Collins was the one that refused to just hire anyone. He had a stack of applicants, and he told her after they went through the applicants, a lot of them did not make it, past the inspections that they had to make. Okay? I wonder who were the 3 officers that Mayor Clark was trying to promote. They don't name them, I don't think. But I can check. I'll check. Residents need to encourage accountability because a narcissist will use their family's loss and anything. Listen, I saw somebody say that little Stanka Booty said that the cameras were the problem. Are they? The cameras make you accountable because then you can't lie. Okay. I'm not in politics, but I've worked under several global corporations, Caterpillar being one. Child. Okay? So do y'all see that pattern too? They both did the same thing with the police chiefs. If they couldn't control them or weaponize them against the residents, then they had to go. But listen, the crazy thing is, Mayor Clark brought this police chief to the residents, told them he had an exemplary resume, which he does. But he had him effed up. I don't know where he drew that picture and told him right here at this tree, when you turned at this tree, you had me effed up. That's what he told him. I'm not your yes man. And when he figured out that, that's when he had to go. Mayor Clark fired his police chief for a better reason than Tiffany used to fire Chief Collins, whose wife posted a picture with Tiffany's opponents. Paul, I don't think either reason is correct. For me, I don't feel like either reason should be a reason. These people properly doing their jobs and properly serving the residents of their village or town, they should be left alone. Okay? So, at that tree is where that one with all the leaves on it. Got to make the big circles. Yeah, that one. For me, like I said, I don't feel like either reason is correct. Ain't no big sin or no little sin. Sin is just sin. neither reason was correct for me. That's just me. I'm not going to separate nothing. Wrong is wrong. That's what it is. You was wrong. Both of you. But I'm just telling you, these are the patterns. At least that's what I'm following. Okay? That's what I'm following, is the patterns. Let's see. Where do I want to go? Now, I want to go here. We're going to talk about this. Because like I said, he came in. Hey, I ain't going from Philly. Thank you for tapping in. You haven't heard a peep out of Lacey? Allegedly, First Lady Brown. He is still doing security inside of the Thornton Township building because that's where those stank booty work. Allegedly. All right, so this is where I want to go now. This right here is an excellent article. Like I said, he claimed he was a corruption fighter. Just like Stanky Booty claimed. I feel like the pattern is they're going to find something that they're going to pretend to stand on. And that's going to be their thing. So his pretend thing was to fight corruption. And her pretend thing was to be for the people. She's the people's mayor. She's the super mayor. She's for the residents. And I think that's what you do. You find something that you're going to pretend that you are standing on, and then you're going to pretend to stand on that. I found this particularly interesting. It says policing the police, the long road to independent oversight of Harvey cops. I just want to preface this by saying the Harvey, Illinois Police Department is condemned. Oh, if you want to know if I'm telling the truth, join the community, become a member of this channel, and you can listen to Alderwoman Colby Chapman tell you from her own experience that the Harvey Police Department is condemned. So why you should be out here, Christopher Clark, running for Thornton Township supervisor, when the Harvey Police Department, the whole building, is condemned? Now, that's one thing Little Stanky-Booty got you on. She was at least having the building clean, and it's not condemned. But you got a whole building, a police department at that, condemned. Make that make sense. But you over here running for Thornton Township supervisor. Residents, is this what we're doing? Is this what we're doing? I said the police department is condemned. So if they arrest somebody, where they taking them? Where they going? Who got to come get them? So you worried about the wrong thing, Mayor Clark. You don't need to be worrying about running. That's why I told y'all he's absolutely not concerned about this seat over here at this township. Because you got a whole police department building that's condemned. You can't take nobody over there if you arrest them. This is not what we want in any seat, really. Okay? Listen, R. Smith, I don't know. And First Lady, I'm not sure. Okay? Javar, I'll work on this for you. How can a whole entire police department be condemned? Exactly. But go, if you become a member, it's $4.99. Become a member. You can get access. Come a member for 30 days. I don't care. Go over there, get access to that interview that I did with Colby Chapman. The other members that already seen it can tell you in here. That interview was an eye-opener. And she confirmed that the police department is condemned. You can go over there and hear from the older woman. Go over there and do that. You don't see how to become a member? There's no join button. Are you on your phone or are you on a laptop, First Lady? If you're on your phone, I'm not sure if it's going to be there. But if you're on a laptop, is the join button is right. If you're subscribed already, then the join button replaces the subscribe button. Yeah, you might not be able to see it on your phone. I don't know what type of phone you have. Yeah, see, because I don't see it on my phone either. So you have to do it from a laptop, First Lady, or a tablet maybe. All right. All right, so Policing the Police, the long road to independent oversight of Harvey cops. This article saddened me in a whole bunch of ways because let's talk about parallel. Let's talk about patterns. Now, we already know that the Dalton Police Department has a $33 million judgment against them. They have a judgment against them for the Alexis Wilson case, and so many more. So too does the Harvey Police Department. Ezra Hills won a $3 million judgment in June of 2023. And guess why? He spent 31 months in Cook County Jail for a crime Harvey police officers attempted to frame him for. And a federal jury decided in June of 2023 that he should be awarded $3 million. Just costing the taxpayers money. Oh no, Sharon, you would have to be on a laptop or a desktop in order to join. Not the flip phone, First Lady. I'm weak. Because the join button, if you're already subscribed, the join button turns into, let me see if I can show you this. Okay, I'm going to show you guys. All right, can you guys see? I'm going to put this up here. Look. You have to be on a laptop because on my phone, I'm looking on my phone right now. I cannot see it on my phone. But if you go to a tablet or a laptop, you see right there where it says join or subscribe. The buttons are together. If you are subscribed already, then the only button that's going to be there is the join. I ain't even subscribed to my own channel. That's great. Okay. All right, so that's how you do that. We just divert it. No problem. No problem at all. I love it. Okay, so $3 million. We back to this. So look at this. Parallel lawsuits. That's a lawsuit for the police department. Okay, the man won $3 million because he was framed by the police officers in a case. If you want to know what happened in the case, then I'll tell you what happened. Ezra Hill was I believe he was a coach. Let me make sure I got it right. Yeah, he was a boxing coach. he allowed some of his students to borrow his Honda Civic to go and fill out some job applications. Instead, on their way back, they decided to pew pew at some rivals, unbeknownst to him. So when they brought him his vehicle back, then the vehicle was tied to this, and this is what happened. This man had no idea this is what they did. And so that's what happened. And they put him in jail. And matter of fact, they intimidated the children to make them say that this is what they made him do. But then they had to retract their statements. And that's what ended up being able to get him out of jail, is that the children told the truth. Because there was no physical evidence that linked Hill, not even in the car, to it. And so, yeah, this is what happened. $3 million judgment. Now the residents are beginning to have to pay. $3 million judgment. Okay? Alderwoman Colby Chapman, she was endorsing a community-driven and external police oversight ahead of the 2023 council races. To quote her, a lot of our residents feel like they're scared to say something, Chapman said. Black and brown individuals, especially, and the police, I mean, they're like oil and water. Residents got to feel like they can trust Harvey police, and they don't feel like something traumatic is going to happen to them based on them speaking out their truth. Now, what do this sound like to you? Doesn't this sound like what was happening when we had Bookman as the police chief? Sounds like it to me. Sounds like it to me. Now listen, look at how crazy this is. Mayor Chris Clark, who staunchly supported external oversight as an alderman, hasn't publicly endorsed the matter since becoming mayor in 2019. However, it's unlikely Clark would endorse external oversight, which would put police and their relationship with city leaders under scrutiny. Isn't this what we were seeing with Lil Stanker Booty and Bookman? The mayor and Chief Cameron Biddings, an ally who Clark personally brought into the department in 2020 from nearby Dalton, recently requested a co-worker at Clark's day job to investigate an aldermanic critic. Say what? Man, these things are sounding so much alike. Okay? An internal audit commissioned by Eric J. Kellogg, which I'm surprised about, administration, and prepared by the Illinois Association of Chiefs of Police in 2011, found the department ignored tips or submitted substandard incident reports. Sounds like the same thing that was going on in Dalton, Illinois. My. Okay. Yes, and they did, R. Smith. They sure did. Okay. These things are sounding too similar for me. If you are a member of my community, I will be putting this whole presentation, just like I did the last one, I will be putting it in our members only chat. Okay? So you don't have to worry about being able to find these things. Members get access to these types of of my presentations. So, okay, we are seeing the same things, right? Yep. Okay, now look at this. Here we go. Now, allegedly, we have recently been watching, or things have been coming to light, that Lil Stanka Booty and the crew, the gang, matter of fact, let me get the gang up here so I don't feel alone. Okay, Lil Stanka Booty and the gang have allegedly or possibly been shaking down businesses and intimidating people. Hence, one of the gang has an order of protection against them. Okay? One of the gang has an order of protection against them. No different over here. Look at this. Harvey Mayor, police officials accused of extortion, civil rights violations in a federal lawsuit. Here go another lawsuit. Let's see what this is about. Small businesses and local leaders allege corruption and intimidation in Harvey, Illinois. A federal lawsuit filed last Thursday was leveled serious accusations of extortion, corruption, and civil rights violations against key city officials in Harvey, Illinois, including Mayor Chris Clark, Police Chief Cameron Biddings, which we know is from Dalton, Deputy Police Chief Derek Charles, and City Administrator Corrine Davis. A lawsuit brought by a coalition of businesses, community leaders, and activists claimed the defendants engaged in extortion, suppressed free speech, and used police intimidation to control dissidents. Plaintiffs include Black and Brown-owned businesses Alderwoman Colby Chapman of the Second Ward and Ryan Sinowelski, a former ally of the mayor who alleges he was wrongfully arrested in June at the direction of city officials. According to the lawsuit, city officials extorted businesses under the guise of collecting unpaid property taxes. You are not an arm of Cook County, sir. You cannot be collecting property taxes. A January ordinance prohibits business license for companies operating on tax delinquent properties, regardless of whether the businesses themselves are responsible for the unpaid taxes. So these businesses could be renting these buildings from landlords. But if the landlords owe money, he's up there levying fines against them. Unacceptable. Unlawful. The mayor's office later introduced a controversial business settlement agreement, which imposes fines ranging from $12,000 to $30,000 on affected businesses. Now tell me if this don't sound like Lil Stinker Booty. What y'all thinking so far? Let me see what Paul said, because I missed what Paul said. With all the media attention on Tiffany, why are so few people complaining about or exposing Mayor Clark for the same behavior or worse? Because it's a lot more dangerous in Harvey. If the police department is condemned, and we already reading about corruption amongst the police officers, if you get in the back of a police cruiser in Harvey, do you know where you're going? Is a question I'm asking. I don't know. And I think, yeah, it's very dangerous, Mr. King Solomon. Very dangerous. Very dangerous in Harvey. It's a different, that's a different place. I don't know. I do not know. But yeah, Harvey is a very, very, very dangerous place. Okay? Very dangerous. If you saw in the previous video where they said, they never see any police officers on the street, things are happening. There are, loads of unsolved murders. Right, Latasha? Right? There are loads of unsolved murders, loads of unsolved crimes. So people have to be careful. I want to go back to something, okay? Let me go back to something. So I told you guys that Mayor Clark was a good alderman. I told you that, right? Let me tell you, I just want to tell you what type of alderman that he was. And I told you that he was under Eric Kellogg, which was a corrupt mayor, right? So I found out, let me tell you what I found out about Alderman Christopher Clark. The aldermen that were under Eric Kellogg were so desperate. They were so desperate to get rid of Eric Kellogg because he was very corrupt. Very. Alderman Clark wrote a 15-page letter to Barack Obama, the Attorney General, the state's attorney. Let me see who else here they say he wrote it to. Right here, it says, statement from Christopher Clark regarding corruption and violence in Harvey, Illinois. Okay, he put this out when he was running for mayor in 2019, but he wrote the letter in 2015 when he was under the corrupt mayor Eric Kellogg. So in 2015, this is what he wrote. I drafted a letter to government officials, including the President Barack Obama, requesting help against corruption in Harvey. This letter was sent to our Illinois Attorney General, State's Attorney, and Cook County Sheriff. Further, a few aldermen and I passed an ordinance appointing the Cook County Sheriff as the Inspector General. Additionally, we wrote letters and made phone calls asking the sheriff's office to provide our city with more police protection. The sheriff's office was willing to support our requests. However, because of politics, our mayor vetoed the ordinance and request. Once again, the clerk and mayor did not put the ordinance on the agenda for an override vote. The violence and corruption continue. How can you write something like this and then be a mayor like that? Oh, Shariah Sorrell, welcome to the family. Make sure you go over and check out your 2 videos in the member-only section. We also have loads of posts and conversations going on over there, okay? How can you write something like this and then become a mayor like that? This is what he wrote. A few weeks ago, we woke up to the news that 2 members of the Harvey Police Department, a former 2-time convicted mayor of Dixmoor, Illinois, and 3 members of the mayor's family had been implicated in many various crimes, including what? Extortion, bribery, and falsifying police reports. Somebody make this make sense to me. Somebody make it make sense to me. How could you write that as an alderman and then become a participant in it as the mayor? Seemed like to me that Alderwoman Colby Chapman or whoever's with her need to go back and check their playbook and see how they got rid of Eric Kellogg and then commence to getting. Okay? How can you write something like this, something so beautiful and grammatically correct as this, and end up as a mayor like that? Let's keep reading. because I couldn't even believe this. Y'all saw that he's involved now in extortion, bribery, and false. Okay. How can our police protect us when members of the department and leaders are allegedly engaged in such nefarious behavior? Over the past few months, we saw a spike in violent crimes. Let me put this back on the screen so you all can see what I'm reading. There you go. We saw a spike in violent crimes, shootings, and murders. The news media has reported at least 9 murders of the shootings. One involved a 5-year-old girl. We just saw the one that involved a Catavia under his watch. On Saturday afternoon, we received the devastating news of a 10-year-old boy that was unalived. I mean, they need to take a page out of his book. You need to go back. Look at his playbook from when Eric Kellogg was the mayor. Once again, we asked the state's attorney and Cook County Sheriff to intervene in Harvey. We asked them to protect us against corruption and violence in the city. We do not have enough patrol officers on our streets. Our existing officers are jeopardized because they do not have enough support. Our children and seniors don't feel safe. What? Therefore, I ask every Harvey resident to call the state's attorney and Cook County Sheriff and ask them to help our city. How? How are you, the mayor, doing what you're doing now, and you wrote something like this as the alderman? And now you're doing the same thing that the man you tried to get rid of, Eric Kellogg, did. Now, he said in this right here that he wrote a 15-page letter to President Barack Obama. Well, y'all, let me tell y'all something. Ask me, did I FOIA? Y'all see, he wrote it right there, right? Y'all saw it. 2019, he wrote that for his campaign to become mayor. Y'all saw that he wrote it. He admitted that he wrote a 15-page letter to Barack Obama, the state's attorney, the attorney general, the Cook County Sheriff Department, right? Okay. I FOIA'd, right? I FOIA'd the city of Harvey for this 15-page letter. Let me tell you what they said. Give me 1 second. I'm about to bring it up. Because this right here got me weak, child. Okay, y'all saw it. Y'all saw that y'all saw that, right? Okay. Mr. King Solomon, I see you. I see you. Y'all saw it, right? Okay, look. I FOIA'd for the letter because I wanted to read it to you guys. I wanted to know what it said in its entirety, okay? Look right here. It says, the city of Harvey has received your records request. I sent this back in September because that's when I found this information. Copy of Alderman Christopher Clark's letter to President Barack Obama requesting help with Mayor Eric Kellogg. What did the city tell me? Can y'all see that? The city has reviewed its files and has determined there are no responsive records to your request. After conducting a reasonable, diligent search for records responsive to the parameters of the request, including searching pertinent physical and electronic databases and contacting records custodians best apprised of the location of prospective responsive records, the city searched to identify responsive records in possession and custody yielded negative results. I haven't heard back from my FOIA on part 1 yet, Dave Bryson. But did y'all see that? I showed y'all where that man, that came from him. He wrote that one in 2019, said he wrote this letter. Turned it in. Sent it out. They said it don't exist. Who lied? Or who is controlling information going in and out? We also know that that's a pattern too, right? Well, see those offices that he claimed that he wrote to? So, you know, super producer sent forwards to those offices. I haven't heard back yet, but as soon as I do, if I get it, you know, I will show it to you guys. But I forward those offices for the letter to see if I can get the letter. Because I want to know what this letter says. Because I can't believe that you wrote that and now you are doing the exact opposite and are now involved in all of these same things that Eric Kellogg was involved in. Very, very disappointing. Now, the businesses, I'll tell you what he did to the businesses. The businesses, he put cinder blocks in front of the businesses so they couldn't open their doors. Them people should absolutely sue. Because absolutely not. Absolutely not. You should not be doing that. The people in Harvey have been protesting. They have been speaking up. I mean, they haven't been getting news coverage that Dalton, Illinois has. This man, listen, let's look at another pattern. Creating chaos to divert attention. Who do that? Who creates chaos to divert attention? Somebody tell me in the chat. Mr. King Solomon. He don't get to decide if they open or close their doors based on some property taxes. He's not the entity that collects property taxes. He don't get to decide that. These people are paying rent to a landlord. That's the landlord problem. That's not their problem. That's not the business problem. He don't get to decide that. He don't get to decide that. He is not an entity of Cook County. Okay? So, yeah. So, he took it upon himself to begin to boot. If you become a member, you can hear Alderwoman Colby Chapman, because her and the 4th Ward Alderman Tracy Key have been getting booted and removed from meetings. Why these other aldermen are not speaking up is beyond me. But whenever those aldermen disagree with him and begin to ask questions, he has them removed from the chambers, causing all of this ruckus and chaos for them asking a question, for them asking for a point of information. Amazing. If you was in my members community, you would have seen the Regina Waldrop interview where she would have told you that the news people don't think that Harvey is news because of the state that Harvey is in, because it's in the south suburbs and it's very underserved. So it's up to us. it's up to us to start getting the word out, to start making some noise. But those think booty, she causes chaos and diversion with other things. This is how he do it. He do it by putting the aldermen out of their chambers. Makes no sense. Let me show y'all something else while we talking about lawsuits. This right here is a lawsuit involving the Harvey Park District. Similar to the one that Jerry Jones's son had at the pantry, the food pantry. But look whose name is right here. Anthony McCaskill. I'm telling you, birds of a feather. That's what I'm going to tell you. We got to stop this. We got to stop this somehow. We have to stop this somehow. Definitely having knowledge about the playbook is a good thing. Now, this is the last thing I want to talk about right here. This right here going to blow your mind. Because this right here is questionable for me. I don't know, super producer do a lot of investigating. This thing is so wide. We in Harvey, we in Dalton. We can go to University Park. We can go to Tinley Park. I mean, I'm afraid. We can go a lot of ways. Hey, Sherry Allen. Yep, sounds like Flint City Council. Definitely do. Now, this is what I found out, and this is what I found to be very interesting. Chris Clark is the mayor of Harvey. He's a lawyer. But it seems that also a running thing in this playbook is what? Getting multiple checks from different government entities. Lil Stinkabooty gets a check from Dalton and she gets a check from Thornton Township. Now look at this. Harvey Mayor Christopher Clark made more than $160,000 over 3 years working for Calumet City. Now, what would he be doing for Calumet City? What would he be doing for Calumet City? It says he has made $168,750 while working for the city of Calumet for the past 3 years. This article was written May 17, 2024. Just to give you some context. For the past 3 years, according to records obtained by the Daily Southtown, Clark is Calumet City's Freedom of Information Act officer, insurance investigator, and director of the city's Office of Professional Standards and Records. From the time when Mayor Thaddeus Jones took office in May 2021 until the end of April 2024, when the records were requested, Clark received 75 payments for $2,250, distributed once every 2 weeks. Now, super producer is going to FOIA to see if he's still the FOIA officer over there and the insurance investigator and the record. Like, this is getting strange. Okay? You said people don't expose Clark as much as Tiffany because Harvey is more dangerous. Isn't it even more dangerous to expose Chris? Well, Michael Delgado and other top Illinois Democrats? It could be. I'm just speaking to why the people that live in Harvey, Paul, may not be doing it. I feel like the reason why people that live in Harvey are not speaking out and speaking up is because they live there. It's dangerous. Dangerous for them living there, doing that. I feel like that's why they may not be speaking out. So, I mean, I don't know how dangerous it is. I feel like we need to talk about it. That's why I'm discussing it here. I'm discussing it. Everything that I'm discussing is public knowledge and is open to the public. So I don't know. I just know that people that live in Harvey, it may be more dangerous for them to be discussing it. Those are concerns for me, you know, and I think that was the concern of a lot of Dalton people at the beginning of this. You know, that was a huge, major concern, especially when Bookman was the police chief. It's a huge, major concern for them. Paul, I don't believe that. But I feel like, you know, this is getting interesting. I'm gonna FOIA for that information, and we're gonna come back around to that information. Now let's get to this bill. This bill that was introduced by the Republicans. I'm gonna let you guys see it, and we're gonna listen to this bill because Dalton, Illinois, is mentioned. Lil Stanka Booty continues to have Dalton mentioned. I know it's a million. You always got to watch a commercial just to be able to see some of these. Oh, let me see. There you go. Y'all can't hear it because I can't. Hold on. Wow, that's interesting because I can hear it. Hold on. I will. How about this? I'll restart it. I'll go back. Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second. We'll see if we can get it back. Y'all let me know because I could hear it playing, but y'all could. So let's see. Y'all let me know if y'all could hear it.
Don't scrape that in the trash.
I'm so sick. Can y'all hear it before I stop this commercial?
Keeping food waste out of the landfill is better for Mother Earth.
You're telling me you can handle eggshells?
Hook me up.
What about vegetable peels?
I've got
Because if y'all can't hear it, I can
baby.
go.
When I see a chicken bone, I don't even bet.
off
Nothing
YouTube.
grinds more types of food waste than the next generation of InSinkErator garbage disposals.
How about a little something, something for dessert?
Y'all let me
Can
know
I
if y'all
offer
can
you some
hear this.
cheesecake?
You and me are gonna get along just fine.
InSinkErator, kitchen better.
Republican state lawmakers are introducing legislation they hope will help with the removal of corrupt elected officials. Now, under this legislation, known as the Recall Amendment, Illinoisans would have the right to remove corrupted officials during the next general election. For that process to work, it would require a significant amount of petitions within 90 days and around 60% of Illinois voters' approval to remove that individual in the general election. This legislation would be applied to state and local officials, representatives, and senators.
These officials, as we've seen, hold an extreme amount of power over the state of Illinois. And this has been evidenced by Speaker Madigan's trial and the testimony that's come out about how he was able to control the General Assembly, or at least the House, and what he was able to achieve.
Representative Dan Ugasti there says due to the lame duck session, he will reintroduce this bill with the next 104th General Assembly.
Okay.
Don't throw that in.
So what this means is, well, it requires you to get a large amount of signatures in a short amount of time, but the recall can go forward. You get those signatures, but you're going to have to hustle, because I think you only get 90 days to get all of the signatures that they require. And it's quite a bit of signatures, but I still think it can be done. And this may be something that they may need to enact in Harvey. So I don't know how that's going to go. The last thing that I want to show you all, to prove to you all, right, that Christopher Clark does not care anything about this seat in the township. You know that little website that I gave y'all and told y'all, followthemoney.org? This right here. These are all the donations that he have. $6,800 from the citizens for Christopher Clark. And then he contributed $750 to himself, and then his law office contributed $450. So who would be paying for his township run? Well, I showed y'all who would be paying for it. Allegedly. Okay. Is there Democratic support for the House bill? That I don't know. Is there any Democratic support? Yeah, that I don't know, but I would say, if I had to guess, I would say yes. But it's something I'm still looking into, Paul. That just came out a few days ago, and he has to actually reintroduce the bill and put it to the floor. So he hasn't done that yet. He was just talking about it's something that they were trying to get together before the sessions closed. That'll give more room for intimidation. Keith Dawkins. I don't know. You got to make a choice. You either want to deal with a little bit of intimidation, or you want to continue to deal with the dictator. I don't know. There's lots of choices that need to be made. Okay? We did pretty good tonight. Do y'all want to call in, or y'all don't want to call in? Because I can finish eating my dinner, because I ain't even finished eating my dinner. But I can finish eating my dinner. And that's me sending them hearts. Thank you. If you all want to call in, I'll open the lines for you to call in, but you all have to let me know in the comments what it is you want to do. Just remember, if I do open the lines for call-ins, no comment is an answer. And are we going to get some more snow? Snow expected to end in the next few hours. I hope it ain't snowing outside. Do y'all want to call in? If you all want to call in, if the majority of the people say they want me to take a couple of call-ins, then we'll do that. If not, then I'm going to be on my way. Did you all enjoy tonight's presentation? I want to make sure that you guys enjoyed tonight's presentation. You ain't calling, Mr. King? Okay, Mr. King. You don't have to call. You don't have to call. It's okay, boy. I'd rather be alone tonight. You don't have to call. All right. If nobody wants to call in, I mean, the phone lines are open now if you want to call in. So let me put the number up here just in case. Don't pay attention to me. We got a double up coming for you all, too. Just want to let y'all know that. You done good. Thank you, Dave Bryson from New Zealand. I can't believe you be staying up. All right. And Justin has put the number in the chat, and that is the number. That's the number. You all can call in. The lines are open. Please remember, be respectful. No comment is an answer. And, let's have a conversation about whatever. If you all want to talk about this that we have just talked about, we've seen all those similarities, all of the things that's going on, and that's probably just half of the things that's going on in Harvey right now, which is unfortunate, because there are some beautiful people that live out there in Harvey too. But okay, if you guys don't want to call in, I'm finna go to bed. Let me see. Were Tiff and Gray removed from the election board? Yes, we're going to talk about that in a separate live, Sharon Yassel. We're going to talk about that in a second live. A second one. Let's see. We got somebody.
Brittany.
Hello, you're on the air with the super producer. What's up?
Hello.
Hi. Is this Brittany?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. How are you? You have the floor.
I just wanted to know what was the rest of the report for the hen in the yard.
Oh, that's what we were doing tonight. Are you just tuning in?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay. You can watch the replay. We just finished the report up. We just finished it. So you can watch the replay, but we're talking about Christopher Clark as being another person that is has been sent by the first person that we talked about to protect her.
Gotcha. And I'm not for him at all.
Child. No, listen.
I went to high school with Kobe Chapman, so I know she's a good person. So for him to come after her, that kind of seals the deal for me.
Okay, she is a great person. And I'm just really confused about how we got here with him, because he was a good alderman. When you go back and watch the replay, he was a good alderman. The thing that we are trying to figure out is what happened from being an alderman to getting in that mayor's seat.
Not to sidetrack, because I stay in Calumet City. So I'm really waiting for Ted to give the report on Monet Wilson, because I'm really not for her, and I stay in her ward. So I really want to know what he got.
Well, I'm sure that he's going to give a great report, and I'm confused about her too. The people that she has recently aligned herself gives me great pause.
Yeah, me too.
Great pause. Well, thank you for calling in, Brittany.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you, and I love watching you.
Oh, thank you so much. I hope we meet soon. I'm going to be at the township town hall. So
me too.
I'll be broadcasting from there. Make sure
I'll definitely introduce myself.
Yeah, make sure you come over and speak, girl, because I'm just one of the girls.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Love you.
Love you too. Bye. Somebody call me now. Y'all know if y'all call me, I'm going to call you back. So, I'm going to call somebody back. I don't remember who. Hello? Who am I speaking with? This is the super producer. Oh, they didn't answer. I don't know who just called me, but you can call back. I tried to call you back. I'm a little slow talking to somebody. Let me see. Did they leave a voicemail? Nope. Okay. If you want to, you can call back whoever was calling. Oh, there they go. Hello, you're on the air with the super producer.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing good. Okay, this is Sharon. Yes, Sherelle.
Oh, okay. Hey, Miss Sharon.
I am calling, and I've just been following this for about a year now, and I've been looking at it, and it's just taking me aback how and I'm not saying this to dismiss other communities of people, but how these Black people are getting in position, and usually the Black masses and other poor people look to them to bring forth change.
Right.
And they get up there and they get in position and they start punching down on people and just taking advantage of all the resources and enriching themselves. And the other thing is that I heard that, there was a rift between Pritzker and Johnson.
Right.
He said that he didn't agree with Brandon Johnson voting on some bill against him. He thought they would have voted together. And then in the news report, they went forward and said that Brandon Johnson and I think he said Christopher Welch voted the same way.
Uh-oh.
And yeah, it was about the cannibals. I think it was something to do with the cannibals being in Illinois, but Pritzker said he thinks he has enough votes to get it through anyway, but he was disappointed in Brandon. And I just said, look, this thing goes really, really deep. But the sad part is that these people are coming from the poor people, from among us, and saying they know the hurt and pain of the poor people. And when they, poor people set them in a position of power and authority, they use that to keep the poor people low. And I just think that is just such a great disappointment.
For me, I feel like these people are getting in these seats and they're realizing all of the things that are available to them once they get in these seats. You have not only money available to you, but people you have access to people that you never had access to before.
Yes.
And so it's going to be very hard to decipher who's who, because I told you, Christopher Clark started out as a great alderman. People had no reason really to distrust him.
Yeah.
They really had no reason to distrust him. So, this to me is so far out of line for him that I don't know what happened. That's why I'm saying, is it when these people get into the seat that then they are confronted with things they never had access to before?
Yes, but the other thing is, I think that you, in your commentary here, that was just proven, just so consistent, is how they get in multiple jobs and multiple positions, and then they spread their influence around, and so the narrative, whether it be their narrative or maybe someone who initiated them, someone else's narrative, And so that is one way that they, how you say, well, the scripture, I know the scriptures do not muzzle the ox. So they're muzzling the voices of the people and keeping themselves in power and position. And that is very sad. And I think in this day and time, that's a very dangerous thing to do, because when we look at California burning, when we look at all the floods, and when we look at this, what they call it now, a polar vortex, and all these things are happening, it is that our Creator is speaking to us, and people aren't listening. And so his hand is going to come in and clamp down on all this stuff. So he said, let the righteous be righteous still, and let the unrighteous be unrighteous still. And there is no in between. And so these people are not doing right by the poor, and they're enriching themselves, and they seem like they have no how you say, no passion, no compassion for the lesser people, the little ones.
Well, listen, we're getting ready to see how this is going to play out. I mean, if we're going with the Bible, there's always time for repentance.
Yeah, but sister, that time, it's like, okay, so you tell your children, how many times you tell them, make sure you wash it, take a bath, brush your teeth, and comb your hair before you go to bed. Well, you may let them play around with it maybe somewhere. Maybe you start them off when they're about 5 years old. And you let them play around, toy around with it till they're a teenager. And then after a while, you're going to look at them and say, don't you know you need to take a bath, comb your hair, and brush your teeth before you go to bed? Look at you, your teeth are getting bad. Now you're not smelling good. And your hair is just, come on, baby, straighten up. And then it's like, okay, after a while, they're older. You say, I'm not going to do that for you. And you just look at them. And after a while, they may have friends or whatever would turn on them, will make fun of them for not doing the very things that you told them to do when they were younger and at home with you. But now they going out, and then people are turning against them for that. So now do you reach in and grab them and protect them from the preacher, from the people? It's like our Father said, he hid his face for a little while. He wants us to straighten up. And so we are seeing some very telling times that he's looking at us and he's, okay, how much time do you need? We've been through generations and generations and generations of this. How much time do we need? Dr. King said, I felt like I have led my people into a burning house before he died. Okay, now the people may have went into that burning house, but guess what? We still have life in us. We know how to come out, separate ourselves from it. But then we have others who are trying to lead us back into that burning house. So we remember what Dr. King said, a true leader for our people he was. And we remember and we act on what he said. We read the scripture. We pray to our Creator. We can see clearly. And I think a lot of us sent that message out for this election that we weren't buying it anymore. But I just hate that this is happening to Dalton. And I just look and I'm in tears even now. It's just like, how high does this mess go?
I'm sure that it goes pretty far, but it's our job to stop it on this level. We got to do our part. So
That's
hopefully I'm doing my part by getting the information out. That's all I'm hoping that I'm doing.
Well, you keep yourself safe, because there are some, I was looking at this stuff, there are some very untidy persons, and I'm waiting to hear that name drop. I know who is at maybe the highest top for the so-called Black community. I know who he is, but I'm just saying, sometimes, we are called to expose some things, but I pray for all of y'all safeties that are fighting for righteousness. And I know our Father in heaven will protect you. I know He will.
Well, I thank you so much. I thank you so much for that.
Yeah, be safe and keep your kids safe.
Yes,
I heard
ma'am.
you, saying that, and I really do. My heart goes out. It's just very disheartening when I see this mess. But I'm not going to hold you up so long.
Okay, and welcome to the community.
Well, thank you, and I appreciate your sharing.
All right, have a good evening.
Okay, you also.
Bye-bye.
Good evening.
Yeah, this is very disheartening, but I do feel like it's gonna take us to get it back together, and we're just gonna have to do that. And it's gonna be some sacrifices, but I'm glad that this channel can be here to provide whatever type of information that you all need. Let me see. I think these people are on a self-appointed God syndrome with more than a great touch of evil. So now we're fighting the devil. That part, Jim C. Now, Jim C., I agree with all of that, okay? We are in the time and generation of Malcolm X children. The Bible says the kingdom suffered violence and we take it by force. That part. Okay? That part. That part. Anybody else want to call in before I close this out? Nobody? Okay. I'm going to close the phone lines if nobody else has anything they want to say. I'll close the phone lines. Thank you all for calling in. They called again. I hope that more of you start calling in. Just if you want to just be heard, or if you want to just, make a statement, you can do so. All right. Listen, super producer don't wish nothing but blessings for your life. I hope you have a great rest of your weekend. I'm not sure I'm gonna be coming live on Sunday. Maybe, possibly, we'll see. Keep your notifications on for sure. Monday, I know I probably will be coming on with something. Tuesday is Thornton Township meeting, if I'm not mistaken. Some people don't think they're doing anything wrong because they are so infiltrated by the corruption of the end times. Yeah, Sherry Allen. I don't know how they couldn't, but, that's a thought. That is a thought. I have enjoyed you all thoroughly this evening. I wish you nothing but blessings for your life. And next time I probably see you, I might see you on the double up. I don't know.
To be in the know, just come watch the show. To know what to do, just jump in the queue. It's up to you. So what you gonna do?
Let me make this statement, because I do want to make this statement for Miss Letty East. Everybody in the township is not poor, and they are educated, and many are fiscally sound. That is correct. And a true statement.
All in the queue, it's up to you. All in the queue, it's check out the view. All in the queue. Be in the know, just come watch the show.